From the studios of 7 Perth, Sally Bowrey.
Good evening. The father and sister of Dana Vulin, the young woman set on fire in her Rivervale apartment, say they're just praying the 25-year-old survives the weekend. Ms Vulin is still in a critical condition in Royal Perth Hospital's burns unit. Her family say they're drawing on strength from the public outpouring of support.
Dana Vulin with her newborn nephew last month. Now she's fighting for her life, her family by her bedside refusing to give up hope. Sister Svetlana has told 7 News she's reading every message of support to Dana as she lay unconscious on life support in Royal Perth Hospital. Many messages have come through the new Facebook page, We Heart Dana Vulin. Svetlana says, I'm hoping if she opens her eyes that we can show her the massive amount of hope and support we are receiving for her. I'm reading them all to her and I'm sure she can hear them. Svetlana says with burns to 60% of her body, the family are just praying Dana gets through the weekend. Whatever anyone can imagine, it is worse, so much worse. Dana Vulin was doused with what's believed to have been methylated spirits and then set alight at her apartment on Thursday morning. She's been left disfigured and her airways are scorched. Dana's father, Don, is just too distraught to speak on camera, but he told me he is a broken man. He says he'll never get over seeing his beautiful girl with such horrific injuries. He says he can't understand how anyone could do such a callous thing, but he's so grateful for everyone's love and support. Svetlana says Dana is due to have the first of many skin graft surgeries on Monday. Detectives say as yet no arrests have been made. Chantel Tui, 7 News.
A 23-year-old driver is fighting for life after crashing his ute into a Gosnell's home. The vehicle rolled and smashed into the back of the house. Neighbours ran to the driver's rescue. Samantha Jolly reports.
The 23-year-old driver crossed to the wrong side of the road and rolled his ute through the backyard fence.
It was just a mess. When the smoke cleared, you could see the car on its side and up against the house.
The driver was thrown 4 metres from the Toyota Hilux and landed on a kennel in the backyard.
And he'd landed quite badly, wasn't in a good way, so we basically pulled the wood off him and did what we could for him, but it just wasn't in a good way at all.
He was taken to Royal Perth Hospital with head, spine and internal injuries. He remains in a critical condition. Major crash investigators spent hours at the scene this morning trying to figure out what went wrong. They cordoned off both ends of the street and conducted skid tests.
We're still investigating the exact cause of the crash. However, it does appear that speed may be an issue.
Neighbours say it's a notorious stretch of Southern River Road.
This corner that we're on is a terrible corner. We've had them hit our wall, we've had them hit poles near our house, we've had them take out street signs.
SES workers spent the morning securing the house. The owners weren't home at the time of the crash. Police want to hear from anyone who witnessed the lead-up to the incident. Samantha Jolly, 7 News.
The TRG moved in to end a short siege in a Coburn car park last night. Police locked down the area and tried to negotiate with the man who was armed with a knife. When he approached police with a brick, TRG officers fired at him with beanbag rounds. The 21-year-old man was taken to hospital for a psychiatric assessment. He'll face court on Monday. Kevin Rudd has been mobbed by the public in Queensland again as speculation mounts that he'll challenge Julia Gillard within weeks. Privately, Labor MPs slammed his behaviour, rejecting claims he almost has the numbers to win.
Kevin Rudd again on Queensland's election trail.
You're one of my heroes.
Seemingly campaigning as much for Labor as he is for himself.
After getting a picture with him, he's got my vote.
Yeah, as a Prime Minister, of course, yes.
No, Julia, no.
He did make a declaration.
Never, ever, ever again.
But he wasn't talking about leadership, rather yesterday's song and dance routine.
For the common good.
On Twitter, wife Therese Rain stirred speculation further, asking, did you sing We're Happy Little Vegemites? That's one of Mr Rudd's favourite non-denials to leadership questions. This is another.
I am a very happy Foreign Minister.
Plenty of Cabinet colleagues aren't happy with him, though, reportedly slamming his behaviour to backbenchers to shore up support for Julia Gillard. One senior minister told 7 News celebrity shouldn't be confused with popularity, arguing support for Mr Rudd both inside and outside the Labor caucus isn't what it seems. Privately, several Labor MPs wrongly listed as Rudd backers agreed, labelling him gutless and rejecting claims he'll challenge within weeks.
The government is at war with itself.
He seems to be intent on tearing down the Prime Minister.
Today, she put on a brave face hosting East Timor's Prime Minister, Xanana Gusmao. No doubt hoping this problem goes away.
See you, Kev.
Alex Hart, 7 News.
As 1,000 ANZ staff prepare to join the unemployment queue, it's been revealed 100 colleagues and their partners are about to set sail on a luxury high seas cruise. An embarrassed bank is tonight reviewing the lavish perk as anger continues to simmer over record profits and rising interest rates.
As these online videos show, the Silver Shadow cruise ship is the pinnacle of luxury. Room service, marble bathrooms, every suite has its own butler. After shedding 1,000 jobs and moving first to independently jack up its home loan rate, this is where the ANZ Bank will send 100 of its top performing staff and their partners. The ritzy 5-day cruise is expected to cost up to $1 million.
Oh, I think it's a rort.
I'd say it's ridiculous.
What it shows is that the bank's reasons for sacking Australians is nothing but a lie. They've got plenty of money.
Yesterday, CEO Mike Smith announced a record 3-month profit and warned the bank could push rates higher to protect its bottom line.
Essentially, if you're a customer with the ANZ, you're paying for this very lavish hijinks on the high seas.
The ANZ has pointed out that many of the staff who'll set sail next month are junior workers and not executives, but it has promised to take the public's concerns on board and review its incentive scheme.
Obviously, in the future, we'll need to do something much more modest, much more constrained.
After all, the bank's advertising slogan is "We live in your world." Jodie Spears, 7 News.
Sky West has announced it will pick up the Perth to Derby route in the wake of the Air Australia collapse. Many Aussie tourists remain stranded overseas and are now fuming at the delay in getting home.
After days of delays and excuses, Air Australia passengers were losing their patience.
I bought these tickets and paid for them last night and I was promised to get my 2 young sick kids on the flight. I'm not standing there and I'm not waiting again, I'm telling you.
Matt, his partner and 2 teething children left stranded in Phuket Airport, unsure if they'd even be able to get on a rebooked Jetstar flight.
What about the 2 kids under 2 years of age with their teeth popping out of their gums, mate, who's been sitting in prams all friggin' night? I'm so distressed it's not funny and it's left the worst taste in my mouth.
And amid confusion over just what insurance would cover, many weren't willing to pay for emergency flights put on by other Australian carriers and were left without a plan.
No accommodation, no money and no way home.
Staff on the ground attempted to help passengers, making alternative arrangements.
We're going to do our best, but I can't guarantee we're going to get you home the way you would most like to.
But even that was cold comfort.
A bit worried because my mum here, she's 80, so it's going to be a long flight home.
Those who did get home had to fork out just for the privilege.
Flights were going up pretty quickly.
Altogether 2 flights and a bus transfer, so probably about $1,500.
Adding to customer frustration, the fact that Air Australia may have foreseen this collapse. The airline has been dealing with administrators quarter-mentha for up to 6 months, with many in the aviation industry predicting the budget carrier could not survive. Amy Parks, 7 News.
The moment when the Australian mainland came under attack from the Japanese will be remembered in Darwin tomorrow. 5,000 people, including the Prime Minister and Governor-General, will pay tribute to the veterans who defended our country.
The bombing of Darwin experience too lifelike for the Governor-General. She officially opened this new interactive extension of the Darwin Military Museum.
Oh, it's so powerful, but it's deeply, deeply touching.
Also deeply moved Bob Brown. As a 16-year-old merchant seaman, he jumped in the harbour to avoid the bomb.
You get a bit choked up when you think of it all, you know, when you think back, and because I was one of the fortunate ones.
During that first attack, more bombs were dropped on Darwin than on Pearl Harbor. Officially, almost 250 people died. It's hoped tomorrow's commemoration, attended by the Prime Minister and Governor-General, will finally bring the survivors and the veterans here the recognition they believe they deserve.
I think I could be overcome by the occasion tomorrow.
In Darwin, Nick McCallum, 7 News.
And Weekend Sunrise will be joined by the Prime Minister as they broadcast from Darwin for tomorrow's commemoration. That's from 7 a.m. Racing's record books are again being rewritten. Black Caviar's second Lightning Stakes victory was her 19th straight win. She topped $5 million in stake money and equalled the Australasian record for consecutive wins.
The fastest horse in the world arrived at Flemington oblivious to all the fuss. While fans clamoured for a glimpse and a photo, the champ showed no signs of nerves, unlike her strapper. Does it get more nerve-wracking though when the wins keep accumulating?
Yes, and the crowds keep getting bigger.
Chasing a record-equalling 19th straight win, Black Caviar has become more than a horse. She's an Aussie icon, with people travelling far and wide to see her.
I've come from Albury, 4 hours away on the train.
I came down especially from Wangaratta.
But bookmakers may disagree. Despite her short odds, she's cost them millions.
Well, she's been very costly to me to date. I'm just hoping to make a beat today, but she's been very costly to date.
Today would be no different.
They're off and racing. Black Caviar brilliantly out of the barrier stalls.
Dropping back in distance and racing 2 weeks in a row for the first time, Black Caviar looked under pressure before her champion qualities shone through.
But Black Caviar is a length and a half in front, and the wonder from down under wins again. Black Caviar 19 straight from Haylist.
So for Black Caviar, the world is now her oyster. Enjoying a well-earned drink after one of the best wins of her career, she'll now concentrate on overseas ventures, where she will fly our flag with great pride. Michael Felgate and the best horse in the world, 7 News.
Stay with us here on 7 News. Still to come after the break, fire destroys a family home, plus terror plan. The sting operation that stopped a would-be suicide bomber. And final preparations for Whitney Houston's funeral. The RSE rescue helicopter from Perth has been sent east of Geraldton after a teenage boy fell 20 metres down a cliff. Police say the boy was on a camping trip with friends at Ellendale Pool along the Greneth River this afternoon when he slipped, landing on a rock ledge. He was winched to safety a short time ago. His injuries are unknown but are not life-threatening. A family home in Herne Hill has lost its second story after fire ripped through the house this afternoon. It's believed it started in the living room. The home was being renovated. The owner lived next door. Damage is estimated at more than $200,000. The cause is not known. Whitney Houston's close friends and family are preparing to farewell her at a private funeral tomorrow. The singer's ex-husband Bobby Brown is now among the invited guests. The service to be broadcast around the world.
The tough streets of Newark, New Jersey almost sit in the shadows of nearby Manhattan, but they might as well be a world away. Here you're more likely to end up as inmate than international superstar, which is why this city is finding it so hard to say goodbye to local girl made good, Whitney Houston.
You show everybody that you can become something in your life if you just strive for it.
Wreaths could be seen arriving at the New Hope Baptist Church for tomorrow's service, described on the invitation not as a funeral, but a homegoing. Houston's godmother, Aretha Franklin, spoke of the moment she saw the news on the TV.
I just jumped up off the side of the bed. What? This could not be.
She will perform at tomorrow's service.
It's not going to be easy.
Oprah, Stevie Wonder, Alicia Keys, Beyonce are all on the guest list. The Bodyguard co-star Kevin Costner will speak. Also invited is Mel Gibson, who helped Houston out during her darkest period. He can't make it, but one person who will be here is Bobby Brown. Despite reports the family has told him to stay away, he has been invited. In New Jersey, Mike Amor, 7 News.
The FBI has arrested a man allegedly on his way to blow up the US Capitol building. Undercover agents posing as al-Qaeda operatives had been tracking Amin el-Khalifi since December. Yesterday they handed the Moroccan a fake suicide vest and gun, then arrested him as he walked towards the Capitol.
Apparently his intention was to shoot Capitol Police outside the Capitol and at the entrance of the Capitol, and then go in and set off the vest.
The 29-year-old had told undercover agents he hoped to kill at least 30 people. Rupert Murdoch has announced the Sun staff arrested on suspicion of bribery will be allowed to return to work. The media mogul flew to London to visit the newspaper's headquarters and pledge his support to the embattled British tabloid. Murdoch vowed to restore the publication to its former glory, but promised staff illegal activity will not be tolerated. He also confirmed plans to launch a new Sunday newspaper to replace the News of the World. Time for sport now with Adrian Barrich, and the AFL's newest team have strutted their stuff, Barra.
Yes, Sal, the Greater Western Sydney Giants have landed as a rookie coach takes on a master. Nathan Buckley makes his debut as Kevin Sheedy rides again.
Gates, be aware that the ball's dropping short up that end.
And Ricky Ponting's sweet summer turns a little sour.
Now, Fuel Watch. Perth's petrol prices, brought to you by Fuel Watch and 7 News.
Looks like we've got mostly sunny skies on the way next week, with temperatures on the way up too. Today we topped at 31 degrees. The minimum was around 21, and right now it's 25.2 degrees in the city, and the wind is south-southwest at 19 kilometres an hour. On the chart, we've just got a high moving into the bite into the next 24 hours, with the surface drop also just moving in across those inland areas from the west coast. A few isolated morning showers are expected into tomorrow around the south coast, just east of Walpole, and that will just be in those moist onshore winds. Around the state tomorrow, isolated showers and storms are also expected across parts of the Kimberley through to the eastern Pilbara, northwest and southwest interior, and also parts of the southwest land division, Goldfields and the Eucla. And it looks like a few showers and storms also will extend further into the Pilbara interior into Sunday afternoon. Around the rest of the country tomorrow, showers are pretty much the story for most of the east coast, except Brisbane, 31 degrees and sunny there. While on the water in Perth tomorrow, east-southeasterly winds are expected with seas to 2 metres. Tomorrow we're heading for mostly sunny skies, a top of 35 degrees. Monday clear and 36, same again on Tuesday. Wednesday a bit of cloud, 34 degrees. Partly cloudy on Thursday and 31. Possible morning shower on Friday, a top of 30 there. And mostly sunny skies across Saturday with a top of 30 degrees. Now it's time for Saturday Lotto. Good luck. That's 7 News this Saturday. Thanks for joining us. Good night.